Up the inside of Lando Norris, very slow into the braking zone, and this could well and truly be a move completed. Not a very good exit because I'm sticking to the inside into this very slow speed corner, but now into the back end of Lando Norris using the overtake button, and we're going to be trying to go up the inside. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a brand new video on F1 2020. I wish I would have said F1 2021, obviously. I can't wait for that game and the breaking points of story mode that's going to come up to my channel. Obviously, you know, I'm going to be doing gameplay videos and breaking point on F1 2021, so if you want to stay tuned with that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and yeah, just pretty much stay tuned with what is coming up to the channel. Obviously, I'm just doing this because I have fun on F1 2020, and this is actually a pre-recorded video from back in the day when I had the stutter issues, so you're gonna see stutters in the gameplay yet again, but I promise this is the last time you're gonna be noticing them on any of my videos. So it's pretty much not gonna be, the stutters won't be existing in any future videos. And obviously what I'm trying to do here is finish season 1 of F1 2020. I highly doubt I'll make it because F1 2021 literally comes out in 10 days and I've still got like 4 episodes to do. Highly doubt it because I also want to post some different things like you know, the WC9 career mode, the Safari special video that I have that I'm getting ready, and also a Rally 2.0 discussion video. What you're seeing right now is a cutscene of pretty much informing us about the next year regulations, and what the game had pretty much in stock is that you pretty much need to spend some resource points on some upgrades that you did on some of the departments that need to be adapted to the new regulations. That's pretty much all about it. Obviously we're not going to be doing that because I've only done like 1 season on my team, and that's one of the main reasons that I don't want to do a my team series next on the next game. I just want to have a little bit of freedom and do whatever I like with the game, because I genuinely like racing on the game, especially I really like my team as well. But as long as I'm not like an F1 YouTuber, because I'm not an F1 YouTuber, I'm more of like a rally YouTuber, as a lot of you say, even though I just consider myself as a sort of like a sim racing YouTuber in general. But my main thing is rallying and sim racing. So I do this because I enjoy it. It doesn't even get a lot of views. I know the people that watch this series actually like it, but I want to be consistent with what I do, and I can't be consistent with the F1 games, because literally my first episode in this series got 5.2k views, which was amazing. You know, I've never like had such views on an F1 video, and seeing the views just gradually dropping and being limited to like at the moment 60 to 100 views is something that I don't want to see in the channel. Obviously, you know, I still post these kind of videos because I enjoy them. And I'm not saying that next year, sort of gaming season, I'm not going to be posting F1 2021. I will be posting F1 2021, but I don't want to follow a series on this game. I just want to do a little bit of everything and still play the game because I enjoy it, and just do my own thing, you know. And at the same time, I've already told you, I'm trying to put variety into the game with sim racing and rallying at the same time, and a little bit of F1 at the side, probably with gameplay videos, and obviously the breaking point story mode. But either way, enough chatting about this new F1 game and what I'm going to be doing pretty much after it releases. We're currently on qualifying around Suzuka, and I want to say the practice session didn't really go to plan. I've had a lot of issues with my qualifying pace. Just didn't feel right. The car felt okay, obviously, and I'm actually very experienced around the track. I actually really like it. It's one of the tracks that I really enjoy driving around, but obviously it just didn't really go to plan. As you can see right there, completing my second lap of Q1 with our second set of soft tires. I can't even believe that I had to put another set of soft tires on Q1 in order to secure my, you know, my progress into Q2, and it was just about, as you can see, just about managed to finish 16th in Q1 in order to make it through the Q2. So it was very, very weird to see myself struggling after having 3 consecutive races being literally in Q3 and fighting for pole positions and top 3 finishes in the races. So it was like taking a step back, you know, seeing like, okay, the car actually has a lot of negatives. It's not as fast as you thought it was in the previous 3 races, and despite that, I've managed to make it through the Q2. Obviously I didn't have a lot of high expectations. I knew that a lot of drivers would get grid penalties. You know, they gotta change some engine parts. Obviously I don't, because I did that earlier into the season. when the car wasn't really good. So I was like, okay, let's just start from last position. It doesn't even matter. So really helped us out. Obviously, durability wasn't the best for us. Wasn't even the worst, but I managed to, you know, I managed the whole parts of the engine and all that very well into the start of the season. And as you can see there, our second lap on Q2. This is our Q3 set of soft tires, obviously. Trying to make the most of it and trying to make it through the Q3. Obviously, it's going to be very hard. You can see Verstappen is down into 14th for some weird reason on a set of soft tires. So, no idea what's going on with him. Huge lock up there, which is going to cost us, obviously, a few thousandths of a second and a few thousandths of a second more into the exit of this corner. But exiting now the 130R, you can see 6/10 improvement. That is actually quite a huge improvement. Don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Because I see actually Perez on the set of medium, so he's probably going to go out on the set of soft to secure that Q3 position. Across the finish line, 17th improvement, 13th on the grid. We're probably going to be, we're 1/10 slower than Gasly. You can see the pace just isn't exactly there. It's not very bad, obviously. It's 14th position, and taking into consideration the car isn't amazing still. You know, we've literally overperformed in the last couple of races, but we literally qualified ahead of Max Verstappen, and we were only 8/10 behind the provisional pole sitter, which is Valtteri Bottas. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. I had a lot of response. You can see how the R&D tree now works out with those orange boxes, which you can see you can actually just upgrade those parts, those upgrades that you've made throughout the season in order to adapt them to the next year. This is how much it works. I'm not going to do that, obviously, because we're only doing one season, and I'm going to be just keep on developing the car till the end of the season to get the maximum out of one season. Either way, let's get ready for the race, see where we're going to be starting off, and yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting one around Suzuka.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today in the Japanese Grand Prix? A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. And keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Why don't we start by talking about Valtteri Bottas? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
So here we are on the grid for the race, starting our race from 10th position. A lot of drivers got penalties, including Gasly, not Norris, I think Verstappen got a penalty. Plenty of drivers got penalties. We got a very interesting strategy because we can start the race on whatever set of tires we want. Obviously, starting from 10th and choosing also our tires is pretty much amazing. So I'm going to play along with the strategy. As you can see there, I'm going to be starting on a set of hard tires. I don't know if that's going to pay off. I'm taking a risk here, but I trust because I trust the overcut around this track because I think the race pace is a kind of a different story. I'm actually starting 11th. Sorry about that. So starting from 11th position on a set of hards, drivers are starting a race on softs, mediums, but no one I think is starting a race on hards. So it's a bit of a gamble for me to do that. But either way, time for the race start. In front of us is Lando Norris, 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. That was actually a huge waiting time there, but a good getaway there. We're actually side by side there with Lando Norris. A very, very, very good start. Not used into getting very good getaways there. Into turn number 1, we don't really have a lot of space there to try and complete the move on Lando Norris. We're actually under attack now from Romain Grosjean in the Haas. Very good qualifying session from the Haas F1 team, somehow managing to sort it out here in the final few races there. 12th and 13th for both Grosjean and Magnussen respectively. But into the start of the race, as you can see there, Lando Norris was very lucky to keep that position. Actually, his teammate Carlos Sainz managed to block my way there, as the AI is very, very slow into this first lap. There's a little bit of a train there being created by Alexander Albon. who didn't really get off to the best of starts. Up the inside of Lando Norris, very slow into the braking zone, and this could well and truly be a move completed. Not a very good exit because I'm sticking to the inside into this very slow speed corner, but now into the back end of Lando Norris using the overtake button, and we're going to be trying to go up the inside there into a fast left-hander there as we... Oh god, I literally slided a little bit my way there into the outside line, blocking Lando Norris. Not the best of moves, not very respectful on Lando Norris, but obviously there's nothing else I could have done. We completed that move up into 10th, into the points, and Valtteri Bottas is actually out of the race. We can see the smokes there coming out of his car, an engine issue for him, unfortunately, as we're up into 9th, and that is going to be a safety car being deployed, which messes up things a little bit for the soft runners, if I'm being honest. Literally what they're really... I can't even speak, sorry. What they really were like betting on was, you know, opening up the gap from me while I'm on the hards, and they're on the softs, opening up the gap and then going for the stops. But obviously me now just reducing the gap into 0 from the soft runners is going to be a huge issue. As you can see, Vettel and Ricciardo and Racing Point have taken the gamble there to go into the pit stops on this lap. This might actually well and truly work out for these guys. I have no idea what the right strategy is. What I know is that I'm sticking to plan A, which is to stay on a set of hards till the very end of the race and just put on a set of softs to gain as many positions as I can. At the moment we're currently 6th. Is that going to be our final position? No idea whatsoever. We could actually well and truly gain even more positions. As you can see right there, we've got right in front of us Carlos Sainz, who just keeps on performing very well, surprisingly enough. Safety cars coming in at the same time. But yeah, Carlos Sainz with 2 consecutive podiums in Singapore and Russia, always finishing 3rd. Really waiting to see what he's going to be able to do in this race with Bottas, you know, retiring. Max Verstappen out of the way. He could well and truly be on the way for a podium if he beats the Racing Point, the Ferrari, and the Red Bull right in front of him. The race has restarted. I really want to see what the soft runners will do at this time. They're probably gonna just open up the gap from me. Obviously, this hard tire is not up to temperature, not feeling very good, but you know, pace is gonna be decent at least, and we're probably, our main target should be to stay ahead of Lando Norris for the time being, as he enters the pit stops on lap number 9. Managed to defend very well. Hamilton is exiting the pit stops on the set of hards, so he's going till the end of the race. Probably going to be a very dominant race for Lewis here as we ride wide into turn number 1. Very struggling a lot with his tires, but at the same time we're still ahead of most of the soft runners that we overtook at the start of the race, so managed to stay ahead of Norris, overtaking now everybody who is pitting on a sort of softs. You see Stroll and Albon getting to the pit stops, and now we're leading the race pretty much on lap number 12. I think the lap that I'm going to be entering the pit stops is lap number 18, and just do 9 laps on a sort of soft. So as you can see right there, Gasly is behind me on a set of mediums, Perez is behind me on a set of softs. Why would you put another set of soft there? Sergio Perez and Sebastian Vettel, very weird strategy. If you remember, they pitted actually right after the safety car came out, and they pitted on softs, and now they're pitting again. Obviously these tires would not make it, so I don't understand the 2-stop strategy whatsoever. Hamilton obviously just gonna dominate this race. Ricciardo is 7.2 seconds behind me. He's probably gonna be closing down the gap. He's in a much faster car, and his pace is better pretty much. He was much better so far in this weekend, but I highly doubt he's gonna be able to overtake me. He's actually jumped into the pit stop, so our strategy is working wonders as Hamilton is getting closer and closer to me, but I think we're not going to allow him to even overtake me. We've been leading the race for quite a while, for around 6 laps, as we're going to cross the finish line now to enter lap 18, and at the same time enter the pit stops to put on a set of softs, go till the end of the race. I really want to see where we're going to be exiting. Is it going to be 6, just like when the safety car came out, or whatever, you know? Hopefully we can have a very good pit stop. Let's see. Good pit stop from the Lotus team as always. They haven't disappointed. I see a Ferrari right in front of me, so we're going to be behind a Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, and we're going to be, oh yeah, that is very good, 6th position at the moment. 6.8, actually 3.9 now, 3.5, 3.2. It's dropping even more. 3-second gap from Norris, and very happy to see Magnussen inside the top 10 for the Haas F1 team. Leclerc is 5th, Sainz is 4th, and I think a racing point of Lance Stroll is actually a favorite to get their first podium. So no idea what happened with Leclerc and the Ferrari strategy, obviously not really working out for them. Very unfortunate actually to see that, because Leclerc was 3rd, or yeah, he was 3rd after Bottas' retirement, and Albon was 2nd, and he's still 2nd. Hamilton 1st, Albon 2nd, we're sliding there on the exit. This tyre's not feeling very great already there from the out lap, but we're already gaining time on Norris, who's on a set of hard tires, a used set of hard tires. So all these guys that you see are on hard tires that have been worn for around, how many laps? I should say to 12 laps. They were on a fresh set of softs. So everything should have been playing very well for us into getting into another podium position yet again, probably a 3rd consecutive podium. But unfortunately, I was not optimistic, because I knew my pace wasn't ideal. You can see Sainz has gained a position there, and he's up to 3rd. He has overtaken Lance Stroll, and he is on his way for the 3rd consecutive podium. We're unfortunately not going to be making the 3rd consecutive podium. Sainz will do it, but it doesn't even matter, because we're still going to be ahead of him in the driver's standings. So the car that I got closer to was Leclerc, 5 seconds, but honestly, I'm not disappointed. Obviously, we didn't get attacked, but we didn't attack anyone at the same time. Obviously, we managed the gap from Norris into 5 seconds. Obviously, I didn't even push on the final lap. I didn't even care, so he obviously closed down the gap, but it didn't really matter at the end of the day. We had a very good race. Remember, starting from 11th, we ended up just gaining positions out of nowhere with a very good strategy. 6th position in the Japanese Grand Prix. Very happy about the result.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Honestly, an overall very good performance. Wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I was expecting myself to be outside of the points, you know, after qualifying 14th, I think it was. Obviously, the penalties really helped us out. Penalties for Gasly, for Verstappen, a lot of drivers that would have easily been inside the top 10, but, you know, we managed the durability correctly at the start of the season, and this has resulted in that kind of performance. Very bad race for Leclerc somehow. Despite following the same strategy as Sainz and Stroll, he managed to finish behind them, despite starting ahead of them, actually miles ahead of them. So very weird for Charles to not be in the podium, but as for us, 6th position, very good result yet again. Nick De Vries from 21st up to 18th, obviously still not the ideal performance.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
But time for the interviews now.
It's looking like the championship is already won. Do you think there's still time for this to change?
If they're talking about me, like, I don't even know why I've got pulled into that like conversation.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Yeah, great race. Obviously, the strategy was the main key to this race. It finally worked out very well.
We all underestimated you, didn't we?
Yeah, we just keep on performing. Like, ever since Monza, I think in Monza we had race pace issues. Ever since then, we've been
Which
doing very
department
well.
has been hit the hardest by next year's regulation changes?
Aerodynamics and the engine department, but mostly aerodynamics. But it doesn't even matter. I've already told you. Like, if I was an F1 YouTuber, that would be probably the most interesting part of the season. Probably the part of the season where we're going to be either championship contenders next season or just drop down massively again for 2nd season, and all this hard work will go to absolutely nothing. But I think based on what I did, if we had been an F1 YouTuber and I did a 2nd season, I think we would have been a championship contender. At this time, obviously I would have increased the difficulty up to 105. Currently it's on 103 Ultimate AI. It's still Ultimate AI, but it's not 105. But I would increase it, but I still think, based on the performances and based on the kind of resource points we have, we probably would have been able to not do any upgrades. For example, on this episode I wouldn't do any upgrades, but we would have been able to adapt all the upgrades that we did this season for the next season, because you can see the cost is actually very low for all of these sort of adaptations, and we honestly would have probably got almost all of them. I'm very like confident we would have done that. But obviously, driver standings, Albon getting that podium has put him ahead of Max Verstappen, and he has closed down the gap from me into 13 positions. Obviously, this is an amazing fight, and I would love to show you guys the end result. Obviously, losing again after Sainz's amazing performances, McLaren is back into the top of the midfield constructor standings. But I think in terms of the fight for the best midfield driver, because I'm not putting Red Bull's a top team. I have no idea even how we managed to be ahead of them. But in terms of the midfield fight, which is between Ricciardo, Sainz, you know, these drivers that have been fighting with me so far in the season, I think it's over. I think we're going to be finishing at least 7th in driver standings, and it's just a fight between me and the Red Bulls for the next 4 races, which I think we're going to be losing because the car is just not amazing. Let's just say that. But no idea if I'm going to be finishing this season. I would love to, but F1 2021 is just around the corner, and I'm not obviously going to be posting this game after F1 2021. So by July 16th, it's going to be over. You're not going to see this game ever again, and I highly doubt you're going to be seeing the Lotus F1 team ever again. I highly doubt I'm going to be doing my team on F1 2021, but I'm still going to be posting videos, obviously, 100%, because I really like Formula 1, especially the Formula 1 games. But either way, that was it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord server if you just want to chat with me or suggest a few ideas or improvements for the channel. And this video, boys, which is probably going to be the WC9 or Dare Rally 2.0, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.
I know you hear all the time, but I got to know what's your sign. I know you hear all the time, but I got to know what's your sign. Let me get that off your mind. It really don't matter, you a Scorpio tonight, and it's. Let me get that off your mind. It really don't matter, you a Scorpio tonight, and it's. I know you hear all the time, but I got to know what's your sign. I know you hear all the time, but I got to know what's your sign.